Yeah, I hear like 80% of our notes are the same thing.
That's right, and it's really, really pretty.
So I'll try not to over-stylize it too much there.
Yeah, no, it's fine because that dissonance on one part is just so, I just love it. Just love it. It's really lovely. A picture here.
Good luck.
People look east, the time is near of the crowning of the year. Make your house fair as you are able. Trim the hearth and set the table.
From the poet Anne Porter. Oh, well, okay. From the poet Anne Porter, Noel. When the snow is shaken from the balsam trees and they're cut down and brought into our houses.
When clustered sparks of many-colored fire appear at night in ordinary windows.
We hear and sing the customary carols. They bring us ragged miracles and hay and candles and flowering weeds of poetry that are loved all the more because they are so common.
But there are carols that carry phrases of the haunting music of the other world, a music wild and dangerous as a prophet's message.
Or the fresh truth of children, who, though they come to us from our own bodies, are altogether new, with their small limbs and bird-like voices.
They look at us with their clear eyes and ask the piercing questions God alone can answer.
We're going to pause to deal with the microphone. Oh, that's water in the building. We think our pipes are frozen, which means that there are no bathrooms available except in like extreme emergency. The closest bathrooms are at the McDonald's across the street, and there is no service tomorrow because of the water issue. And we're calling it for tomorrow. So don't come tomorrow at 10 a.m. or any other time. So we won't be here.
If you're with us in person, go ahead and wave hello to those multitudes joining us online. And if you're joining online, say hello in the chat. Marty Ward will light our chalice this evening. Will you join me in our chalice lighting words? We light this chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, to remind us to connect in spirituality and service, to care for each other and the world, and to create loving community.
All hail to the days that merit more praise than all the rest of the year, and welcome the nights of many delights with joy and wintertime cheer. La 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 la. La la la
Our story begins a long time ago with a woman named Mary who was very pregnant and a man named Joseph. The king Herod wanted to know how many people lived in his country. He ordered all the people to return to their hometowns to be counted. Mary and Joseph had to travel to Bethlehem. The journey was hard for Mary because the baby was about to be born. When they finally arrived, they found the town crowded with many other people who had also come to be counted. They knocked on all the doors they could find, but all the rooms in the inns were full.
In those days, a decree went out from Emperor Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration and was taken while Quirinius was governor of Syria. All went to their own towns to be registered. Joseph also went from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to the city of David called Bethlehem, because he was descended from the house and family of David. He went to be registered with Mary, to whom he was engaged, and who was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for her to deliver her child, and she gave birth to her firstborn son, and wrapped him in bands of cloth, and laid him in a manger, because there was no place for them in the inn. You may stay seated for number 237, the first Noel. A choir soloist will lead the first verse of each hymn, and we'll all join in on the next one. During this hymn, please feel free to light a candle of prayer or presence for anyone you're holding close to you.
Certain poor shepherds in fields where they
Oscar K is going to light one extra candle. For all of you who are sick, who can't be here in person tonight, and for your prayers and your presence.
The authors of the parts of the Bible who originally wrote down the story about Jesus' birth didn't write about the animals. But our story wouldn't be complete without them. After all, since there were no rooms at the inns, Mary and Joseph had to stay in a manger, which is a place where farm animals live and eat. Let's help all our animals tell us what they would have said. Choose an animal and make the sound they say.
You don't know that. Great animal noises. Some people who tell the tale said that even the animals knew something special was happening. And so, after being really, really noisy, they got quiet and still. So we're going to be really, really noisy again, and then we're going to be quiet and still together. As the silence settles over all the animals and all the town and all the world, let us share a few minutes of holy silence together. Stay seated for our carol number 244, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear.
It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their
next part of our story happens in the fields outside of Bethlehem. That same night, shepherds were watching their sheep in the fields. Suddenly, an angel appeared above them. The shepherds were surprised and frightened.
In that region, there were shepherds living in the fields, keeping watch over their flocks by night. Then an angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid, for see, I am bringing you good news of great joy for all the people. To you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign for you. You'll find a child wrapped in bands of cloth and lying in a manger." And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace, goodwill to all." Will you rise in body or in spirit, that chorus of angels, and sing "Angels We Have Heard on High"?
The shepherds ran to the stable, and they found Mary and Joseph holding their baby. Those shepherds really didn't have many gifts to give the brand new baby for his birthday, because usually shepherds are poor people. But they gave their gifts of love to the newborn baby Jesus, and stayed there to be with Mary and Joseph and visited quietly so the baby could sleep. Those shepherds thought of what had been promised a long time ago, that a very special king, a very different kind of king, would come to lead them. And they realized that this promise had come true. And to think that he had been born in a barn, in such a simple place, not the sort of place that kings are usually born, those shepherds were just full of joy.
When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, The shepherds said to one another, "Let us go now to Bethlehem and see this thing that had taken place, which the Lord has made known to us." So they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the child lying in the manger. When they saw this, they made known what had been told them about this child, and all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds told them. Mary treasured all these words and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, as it had been told them. And they went, telling everyone. Will you rise for number 239? Go tell it on the mountain.
Far away from Bethlehem, there were 3 wise men who studied the stars. And on that night, they saw a special new star. And they knew that this new star meant that the king of the Jewish people had just been born. So these 3 men, who also happened to be kings, set off on a long journey to bring special gifts to the new king. And they brought special gifts: gold, shining and beautiful, and frankincense and myrrh, which smell delicious. And that big star, that new star that those 3 wise men had seen appear in the sky, it led them right to the place that Jesus had been born.
In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem asking, "Where is the child who has been born, King of the Jews? For we observed his star at its rising and have come to pay him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was frightened. Herod secretly called for the wise men and learned from them the exact time when the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search diligently for the child. And when you have found him, bring me word so that I may also go and pay him homage." When they had heard the king, they set out, and there ahead of them went the star that they had seen at its rising, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. And on entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they knelt down and paid him homage. Then, opening their treasure chests, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they left for their own country by another road. You may stay seated for number 259, We Three Kings. If you have brought your myrrh or frankincense with you, you can take them home, but we will gladly accept your gold. It's our tradition for the Christmas Eve offering to go entirely to the minister's discretionary fund. Linda Sullivan and Barbara Council have already raised $717 from 28 people who received 195 beautiful nature photograph cards, and that's all going to the discretionary fund as well. These contributions are rent money, gas money, too cold to sleep in the car one more night money. There's Steve Pearsall bringing armloads of blankets to our unhoused neighbors at the Interactive Resource Center money. End of the month and you got laid off and rent is due money. Queer teenagers kicked out of their homes and need a place to go money. Leaving an abusive home money. Emergency medical bills money. Got a new job but the car broke down money. Christmas gift money. groceries and tampons and new suit for a job interview money, last chance money, candle in the window money, room at the inn money, warmth in the nourishing dark money. The poet says, what if you were not the innkeeper, but the manger, the stable itself, the haven of rest? When we give to the minister's discretionary fund on Christmas Eve, that's what we are this whole year long. You can click the link in the description of this YouTube video to give online. You can text give to the number in your order of service, maybe. Maybe not this year, maybe not this time. You can also mail a check. Ushers will come forward to collect the offering, which will now be gratefully received. the beginning of seminary, I had to take a Hebrew Bible content exam to prepare for our introduction to the Hebrew Bible class that first fall. So I took a 10-question multiple choice test, having never read the Bible at all. I was raised in a very, very Bible allergic Unitarian Universalist congregation. We kept many, many copies of the King James Version in a cupboard, and I think I saw them once when I was looking for the goldfish. However, I had sung in 12 choirs, several a cappella groups, easily 6 musical productions, and various other ensembles, and so it happened that there were some questions on this 10-question multiple choice exam that my musical education prepared me for. One of the questions was, which of these is a father-son pair in Genesis? And I looked at a bunch of names I kind of recognized but couldn't have told you much about. And then I heard Jacob wanted to show the world he loved his son, to make it clear that Joseph was a special one. And I was like, ha, Jacob and Joseph. I circled that, and I got the question right. Another question said, which prophetic book, so which book written by a prophet, says, Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. And I heard it in my head. I mean, you can do it. Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Isaiah. And I got that question right, too. And I passed the Hebrew Bible content exam, having never cracked the book, to the hilarity of my friends and the horror of my professor. So for many years, I've just sort of chuckled with my colleagues about getting away with this. But this year, even this silly story sounds a little different to my ears, because there are so many ways we pass wisdom and stories up and down the generations. Isaac Villegas, a Mennonite pastor here in North Carolina, writes about this generational transmission of wisdom and story through song. He says, Jesus must have learned his prophetic ministry from his mother. She was the one who said, God has brought down the powerful from their thrones and lifted up the lowly. God has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent away empty. Jesus learned this gospel when he was a child, a baby, as he fussed at his bedtime. He learned his message from Mary as she held him in her arms, rocking him, whispering her song, comforting him with dreams of a new world. The Magnificat, the Song of Mary, as a lullaby. Mary preached a song of joy and triumph. Political power is about who has a voice, who can speak, who we listen to. And here at the beginning of the gospel, according to Luke, the voice we hear is Mary's. The poet says, we hear and sing the customary carols. They bring us ragged miracles and hay and candles and flowering weeds of poetry that are loved all the more because they are so common. But there are carols that carry phrases of the haunting music of the other world, a music wild and dangerous as a prophet's message. The prophet who would terrify the tyrant and shake the foundation of the world began squalling, shushed by a lullaby. The great teacher whose story has not yet died learned this music in his mother's arms. The haunting music of the other world. The upside-down world where the most helpless creature, the one in the greatest need, is the source of holy power entering history. Where God comes as the baby, born by the side of the road, among the animals, in an unhoused encampment, in a war zone, because there was no room at the inn. That other world where hearts are open where there are no walls or borders or prisons or cages or anyone sleeping outside in the cold, where nobody hoards, so nobody starves, where every tear is dried and every need met with compassion, where heaven is found on earth and peace rules the day. Beneath the noise and chaos and hidden grief and familiar comfort of the season, the Christmas story tunes our hearts to sing that truer song. We are each parts of a mighty chorus singing an ancient song, singing down a more peaceful, more just world. We use our very bodies in their new and used conditions. Our own vocal cords, our lungs such as they are, our stuffed up noses, and the power of whatever breath we can muster to bring glory to this truth, that a better world is possible. Mary sang it in the ear of her baby. Jesus preached it and died for it, and the song lived on after him. And we are inheritors, listeners, and creators of powerful songs of peace, old and new, in a world that aches for them. Tune your hearts to the songs of peace and sing them out. May it be so for you and so for us all. Amen. Will you join us in prayer? For all those who are cold this night, whose hands and feet and hearts ache, to be swaddled in tenderness and held in love. Those who are quiet, whose joy is secret or timid, for those who wonder how they'll make it through the night, for all whose plans are thwarted, whose precious longing has been denied, for all those with secret hope in their heart, and for anyone who is alone.
Cherubim and
from their spirits overflowing or from their wrung out hearts. Let it be enough. Let it be enough. Ever enough.
What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. What can I give him? Give my heart.
Amen.
Will you join me in our unison chalice extinguishing words? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Where there is joy, let it be shared. Where there is sorrow, let it breathe. Where there is fear of so much unknown, let there be hands to hold and a star to guide us ever onward. Where there is love, let it never be hoarded. Let us be careless with it, flinging open the door with abandon whenever love knocks. And where there is that ancient song of peace and power, let it be sung, let it be sung, let it be sung. We'll stay seated for benediction hymn number 251, Silent Night. Cindy and I will light the first candle in each row, and your light will be kindled by the light of your neighbor. To avoid spilling the wax, the lit candle stays upright, and the unlit candle rises above.
Okay, bye.
We scraped up an extra mic. Hey, I just had a question.
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, tell Blake. I'm Amelia.
Is it okay
He
if I
would-
take a picture of it?
Sure, sure.
I'll send it to him.
He might remember me.
Okay.
Your solo sounded awesome.
Thank you.
What's that?
Thank you.
I was just wondering what the pedal
Oh,
was.
this was to.
Was that like a page turner or
It is a
something?
page turner.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have the thing is he gave me a score, so it goes by really fast.
Okay.
And
No, I mean that makes sense that you had one. I was just like,
Yeah.
it kind of looked like a stomp box, but I'm like, wait
Yeah,
a minute, that's not how that works.
It's usually more delicate, but typically.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it
Okay,
relates
cool.
forward and back on this.
Cool.
Yeah, so using it quite a bit. It actually a lot.